Greetings and salutations, this is Emperor Vespasian and his trusty sidekick.
Hello.
Today we're having a look at our new scenery for our Dark Age project. We did do some scenery before, but this is for our Vikings.
Forever.
Yep, so it's sort of scenery I knocked together for the Vikings. We're going to show you some new Saxon stuff as I get it built. That'll be one of the next videos. We'll also do a video on the Vikings as well, because we've rebased all the Vikings and they look quite cool. You can see a few of them just knocking around the table here, but we'll do a video on them later when we get the new camera back, because you can't really film close-up 28mm figures with a GoPro. And our camera, news. Should we do a news section?
Oh god.
Yeah. News.
Are you going to get angry so I got no years?
News-wise, okay, we took our camera to the camera doctor.
Again?
Well, no, we took it to the camera doctor and they gave it us back after 2 weeks. And they changed the lens, but the camera still didn't work. So we took it back and they've had it more than a week now. And we don't know what's going on with it. So...
How far have you travelled to get it?
Well, not far, but... How far is it to Sheffield? Not far.
It takes like 30 minutes to get to the destination. Then you
traffic,
got to go back.
Not as the crow flies. So we've been nipping backwards and forwards trying to get the camera fixed. Really, we should have just bought a new camera.
Yeah, because you could have gone on for free because of the insurance.
No, that's only if the camera's a write-off. It's not how it works. So basically, we are stuck with the GoPro. So we can't film properly because this is not the sort of camera you should be using to film figures with. So we're stuck with it, which is rather annoying. But please bear with us. We'll get it sorted out sooner or later, and they will get it sorted out. It's not our fault. But just hang in there, and we will get it sorted. Anyway, these are the buildings. This is the Viking town so far. We are working on a few other additions to the Vikings, but we thought we'd show you what we've got. I'll give you a quick run round. So this is it's a sort of small house with sort of a shop outside. It's got some, tomatoes?
Apples and pears. There we go.
Pears aren't red.
No, the green.
Must be tomatoes. They have tomatoes in Skyrim, so they must have had tomatoes.
Apples, the red ones, and green are pears.
Okay, yeah, pears green. Good point. Yeah, apples and pears. Where do pears come from?
Where do pears?
Do the Vikings have
where
pears?
do pears come from?
Do the Vikings have pears? I don't know. You see, these are the things that I don't actually worry about in my normal everyday life. I just don't care. But yeah, I will assume it's some sort of food. There's also a couple of fish and some bread with a knife sticking out of it, which is awesome. It's just a very simple house. This one is the first one I did for the Vikings, so the roof doesn't come off because it was a test model.
And it worked.
And it worked, so that's where we ended up with that. We'll go over to the next least interesting model, which is this guy over here. This...
I'll say the other one was more interesting.
Least interesting. Yeah, this is just the Viking stables. It was used to put, horses in. So this is the Viking stables. It's a very nice stables. It's a small stables. It's not meant to be very big because the Vikings didn't have a huge amount of horses. But that's the stables. It's a pretty simple model. Now onto the slightly more interesting one. This one is a normal Viking house. It's got some apples outside, which is very nice. The guy who lives there has left his spear and shield outside, which is, just in case he needs it, if there's a raid or something. And you take the roof off, and inside is a wolfskin nailed to the door, some fish, a small fire, and a few beds where the family sleep. So that's quite nice for them. Quite nice. So that is
some wood.
Yeah, so that's the top-down view of it, and it's designed so everything we have will fit inside it. So no matter how big the figure is, it will fit inside. You can fit an entire unit inside for Hail Caesar, or whatever other system we decide to use. So
Splendid.
that's that one. The last one is this one, and this was quite big. This is a bit like our Saxon Hall we built. We are redesigning the Saxon Hall, and that's the main entranceway there, and it's got a banner on the front and a couple of little bits added, and well, just twist this around, it's quite heavy as well. Like Viking buildings of the time, they used to put supports in the side of the building to help hold the walls up.
Like weather builders and that.
Yeah, because when it snows, the snow would get very heavy on the roof.
And so you'd have to add extra weight.
And what would
balance.
happen is the heat from inside, because they didn't have chimneys. People always make buildings with chimneys, they didn't have chimneys. The only reason thatched cottages today in Britain have chimneys is because of the European Union. Smoke goes into thatch and it kills all the little bugs and stuff. And that's what it's for. Interestingly, do you know where the phrase raining cats and dogs comes from?
Raining bugs. Hallelujah.
Do you know where the term raining cats and dogs come from?
You told me before.
It is to do with thatched roofs.
Was it because dogs and cats were on top of the roofs?
Yeah, they lived in the eaves.
Yeah, and then these fall off.
Yeah, in the roof of the house, it was warm up there in winter, and the cats and the dogs would climb onto the roofs, or climb onto the eaves, and they would live in the eaves where it was nice and warm, out of the way.
When it got hot, they fell off.
No, when it rained, the water would come through the thatch, or the ice would melt, and it would come through the thatch and make the top of the eaves wet and slippery, and the dogs would fall off. So when you were sat in the house, you knew it was raining because the cats and dogs started falling off the roof. So that's where the term raining cats and dogs comes from. You have to live in England to really put up with that. Or Iceland. Or anywhere the Vikings lived. So we'll take the roof off.
Took you long enough.
Like that, yeah, we've finally got now to take the roof off. This is not entirely finished yet. I've done a little sketch of how I'm going to do the carpets. I'm going to sort of paint embroidery around the carpets. That's the initial sketches I've done inside, so it's not actually finished yet, but it's getting there. It's getting a long way there. There's some flocks stuck inside it. That's disgusting. So yeah, this is the Viking Hall. There's another door at the back, and of course there's the door at the front. Which you can't really see because the lighting is so horrifically atrocious in here now. Yep, you can see. So yeah, we also wanted to add a little bit of space inside it, so we've added some small roof sections so figures can stand on them if you're playing a game where you're inside the actual building. But the central part is open.
Nah, I just put flaming torch on top of the building and make them come out.
Yeah, you know, thatched roofs don't burn entirely too well. It takes a fair amount of heat to get them going. And then when they do go, they tend to smoulder. Because they tend to be quite damp.
Then I keep doing it.
So they just smoke, really.
They're not, it's not like they're attacking me, so I have all the time in the world.
No, that's true. That's very true. But would you really attack a Viking settlement?
If you're Saxon, yes.
Yeah, good point. I'd take that back. Yeah, you would attack a Viking settlement. Yeah, obviously. I'm thinking of the wrong period of history now. Yeah. So yeah, that is the interior of the longhouse.
Back in day, if a Viking went on your acre of land, you went and bred them up.
4 acres.
4 acres, that's even.
4 acres of land per family. So yeah, that is it. That's quite nice, and I just think it looks quite cool. I think it's slightly better than our Saxon model. I don't think our Saxon model was as cool as this particular model, but yeah, we're still working on it. I was thinking of adding some tables and stuff inside. However, that would limit the amount of room your figures have to move inside the actual model. So that could be a little bit restrictive. But that's just where we are. I'll just stick the roof back on. So that's our Viking longhouse. Our Viking settlement. It's our Viking longhouse, our Viking house, a little stables. There are a few other buildings I'm thinking of doing for it, but I think the most important thing now is to do a set of defences, a wall to go around the settlement. You think that's a good idea?
Well, what will they do if the Saxons break through the wall? Get screwed.
Um,
Because I knew that Vikings used to burn settlements easily, and then to destroy settlements easily, and then Saxons used to be able to destroy their settlements easily because they're pretty even.
Yeah. Typically, the Vikings would build a circular wall around their camp, simply because it was the easiest way to design a defence. It's very hard to attack a circle because there's no weak point. It's the same all the way around. There'll be an earthen banking all the way around with a wooden stockade all the way around the top.
Fire.
Well, again, what good would that do you? You put kids on the roofs.
No, me fire into the village.
Yeah, but you put kids on the roofs, and remember the arrows are sticking on the outside, so it's going to smoulder. And you put children on the roofs, and the children either douse the fires.
Or the children get hit themselves.
Yeah, how... chap who died at Stamford Bridge.
Harold Hardrada.
Harold Hardrada. Harold quite cleverly used birds. When birds landed, he catch them in cages. This was on... was it Cyprus? Or somewhere like that. And basically they caught the birds and they attached burning sticks to the feet of the birds on strings. The birds flew home into the fortress and settled inside the eaves, underneath the eaves, and that started fires inside the buildings and underneath the thatch, which burned the entire city. And Harold won. I'm trying to think where the battle was now. It was in the Mediterranean somewhere. No, escapes me. Anyway, doesn't matter. So yeah, that is one way of doing it. I wouldn't rely on that system. I mean, that really only works on a prolonged siege.
I wouldn't.
Harold was lucky that he didn't have any buildings himself for the birds to fly into. They were besieging the place at the time. I'm not sure that would work in Britain or even Northern Europe, because there'd be too many other places for the birds to go.
Yep.
No ideas?
No ideas.
No. So the Vikings would build a big round fortification all the way around the settlement, which is pretty easy to defend. And the Vikings would just stand on top of the parapets and throw stuff down on any enemy attacking. As to enemy getting inside, the buildings themselves are actually quite defendable. And there were times when the Vikings would simply withdraw to their halls. There would be several of these things, usually.
That's
really
stupid
big
though.
settlements.
How would you withdraw to one whole building?
Well, they used to put them in squares, so you'd have a hall there, a hall there, a hall there, and a hall there.
Why
so
not
it'd be in a
starve them
square.
out then? To surround the building, wait for them to starve out.
Because you don't have time to starve people
Or
out.
knock off the support if it's winter.
You don't have time. If it's winter, you're not there.
I mean, you're not there.
You're not attacking. How do you get there? You have to keep your troops fed. You can't attack in winter because you can't carry the food.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't.
Baggage trains.
Alright, how do you get there?
On foot.
Duh! Yeah. Do you know, this is...
No, I would attack in winter. This is why, not Russia. God, I'll freeze to death. Right.
Well, most Vikings lived in Northern Europe.
What I'd do is, who would even think of defending their walls on winter? No one. Because who would be mad enough to attack?
Well, they did defend the walls. They had watchtowers. They looked out. They kept an eye out to what was going on.
Yeah.
They knew what was going on.
Yeah.
And they had scouting parties around, and most people lived outside the fortress, and the people would run into the fortress.
They said they'd do that when Napoleon forces came to attack the farmhouse. They completely forgot about that, didn't they?
That was
It told them right at their faces.
That was one farmhouse in one battle of a 15-year war. You can hardly use that as an example.
You should always be on alert though.
Yeah.
In 15 years.
Yeah, the guys were tired. They've been fighting all night.
No, they haven't.
They had. They
The battle only just started.
No, they pushed the French out the night before. And
The battle of Waterloo only just freaking started.
No, they've been fighting at. Is it Hougoumont you're talking about, or La Haye Sainte? Because La Haye Sainte was originally in French hands. It was taken back from the French. So the troops inside were.
The one that Napoleon said, whoever wins the farmhouse wins the battle.
That's La Haye Sainte.
Right, there you go.
But they took Hougoumont as well. So they never took out La Haye Sainte. Anyway, that's besides the point. Why are we talking about Napoleonics?
Because try to prove you wrong.
So you're going to attack the Vikings in winter.
Yeah.
That means you have to physically get to the Vikings.
It's easy, just go on foot.
From where?
If
you're attacking Scandinavia, then you're not attacking it.
I'm talking about a settlement in England.
In England, okay. So you've got a Viking settlement in England. It will be in a defensive position, so it'll be in a defensive.
I'm Saxon army, so I'm used to this weather.
Yeah, you're Saxon.
I come from England.
You're marching north, and you're going up against the Vikings. Okay, so you have to have the food to feed your soldiers while you're on the marching up to the enemy.
Yep, baggage
you
train.
Have to
and they have supply coming with along lines.
Yeah, it's winter. The food you've got is the food that feeds your entire population throughout winter. So you're having to carry that food with you. If you lose, that food becomes Viking.
How would I lose? We're having a thunderstorm!
No, we're having a rainstorm. It's not the same as a thunderstorm. You watch it, it'll thunder in a second.
Yeah.
I love northern weather, don't you? See, what happens if that happens? What happens if the rain starts pelting down and all your soldiers get wet?
That's so we just stopped.
Yeah, it's cool. So you might not be able to hear the sound of the rainstorm outside. We're currently having a monsoon.
And it's back again.
Yeah.
What was the question again?
So you're marching up to the Viking place. It's winter. It's snowing. It's cold. It's raining or snowing. Your soldiers are cold. You have to somehow build somewhere to sleep. So you're going to have to either hope the Vikings haven't burnt the local buildings, or you're going to have to sort of build something yourself, which isn't going to be easy because it's winter.
Why would I want to build something if it's next door?
Your soldiers are going to be cold. They're going to need somewhere.
The settlement isn't going to be too far.
The Vikings are sat in their big long halls having roistering parties.
Yes, I'm not expecting an attack.
Of mead.
Not expecting an attack.
No, but they know you're coming. That's the point.
They don't know I'm coming.
Of course they know.
How would they know I'm
coming
coming at winter? No one ever attacks at winter. No one has ever attacked at winter.
So you're assuming that during winter everybody is hiding in a small hovel.
Yeah, even the Saxons.
If it's cold enough to force people to stay in the buildings, then an army isn't marching through that.
Depends where they come from.
It doesn't matter where they come from, they're freezing to death. Whatever happens. You can't walk in that sort of terrain.
Besides, attacking winter would be used anyway because, as you say, they come from Russia, and Russia's the coldest winter you can ever have.
Yeah, that's like warm weather to Vikings. So, yeah, you've got to... Carrying out a campaign in winter is extremely difficult. So you will see very few campaigns fought in winter. There were campaigns fought in winter, don't get me wrong.
And Saxons won, obviously.
But typically the attack are lost in winter.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all besides the point.
I can go back in time and prove you wrong.
Well, typically they did, but, you know, look at the Northern Crusades. Year after year after year after year, sending in troops to invade Russia, and as soon as winter comes, all the troops have to march all the way home again. Complete waste of time. So I guess that's it then. Okay, fine. Thank you very much for watching. Do you want to do the outro?
So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and comment down below what would you do in this situation if you were attacking a Viking settlement in winter. That's anything from me.
And please give us a like if you enjoyed the video. We've got more of this coming. Did you say that? Did you? I don't know you said that.
Like, subscribe and comment. All done.
Alright. And all the other stuff that we do. Right, thank you very much for watching the video. This has been Vespasian, and you're just a sidekick.
Yeah, I said that as well.
Right, sorry, not with
Your turn. Say it.
Goodbye from me.
There we go. And goodbye from him.
Goodbye.